This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, a.k.a. the Python Hyena. And folks, I believe I have my first Puerto Rican guest on the phone with me tonight. Yes, we have the lovely musician, Brenda Hopkins Miranda on the phone. How do you do, Brenda?
Well, I'm doing great. This is really exciting to be the first Puerto Rican in your show, so I'm really happy to be able to talk to you.
I think you're the first Puerto Rican. I hope none of my other guests would hear this and go, "No, I was on first." But I believe you're the first one from Puerto Rico. I've only been outside Fredericton here, or outside New Brunswick once, so I've never been to Puerto Rico. But I understand you just got your power back.
Oh, yeah. We've been living through difficult times here, and I just got the power back at my home, I'd say about a month and a half ago. But there are a lot of people that I know that still have no power. So the struggle continues after Hurricane Maria came our way.
Yeah, Yeah, that was awful. And how long were you yourself without power?
I was close to 4 months without power. It was the strangest Christmas that I've ever had. I think the worst part was the beginning, of course, of the whole thing, because there was no communication with anyone. You couldn't talk to your family members or friends. So we went through a very tough time in the beginning, not even being able to know how your loved ones were doing, in the middle of all of this.
Wow. How did you maintain that 4 month? What was your process?
Well, you get used to a different kind of routine. I had to get ice to keep a few items, that you need for like food and things like that every 2 or 3 days. You had to get used to being standing in long lines for a long time. I tried to do most of the things on foot because it was very hard to get gas for your car. You certainly have to adapt to so many things. When you went to the supermarket, they would have limits on how many of each item you could buy because there wasn't enough food for all of us. So it was a different lifestyle for sure. I didn't have any access to internet, for example, and we musicians do a lot of communication through that. So there were many limitations that we had to live with for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. If I went through something like that, I'd probably want to fly out somewhere and get out of there.
Yeah, a lot of people did that, but I wanted to, of course, stay close to my family because I was making sure that my mom had water and food. I was not only getting ice for myself, I was getting ice for her and drinking water. And still, we live in San Juan, so we didn't have such as bad a time as other people that live in smaller towns. And like I said before, sometimes still have no power 6 months after the storm. So it's been very tough on us here.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that you guys are able to pull forward. I don't know how I would deal with something like that. I'm like, yeah. But before we talk about this benefit concert, I'm just wondering, give us a little bit of your background and how you come to want to be a musician.
I was lucky enough to go to a school where they had music lessons and art lessons, and I learned even ballet. over there, and I started playing piano when I was around 5 years old. And then when it was time to go to college, I realized that I was completely enamored with music, and I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So my first step after taking private lessons for many years was to audition for the Conservatory of Music here in Puerto Rico. And I studied classical piano there. That was the only choice at the time, was to study classical piano. Even though my interests were more in, like I really enjoy doing improvisation and other things like that. So that's how I started. I started very little with taking lessons at my school.
So you were never like, what was it like when you performed first in front of people? Were you nervous, or did it just come natural for you?
Oh, sure. In the beginning, you are nervous, and it's funny. Like, your parents want you to play for everyone, and I would run away at first because I was a shy kid. But then there comes a time when you want to share your feelings through music, and that's when I really got into performing. And once you start doing that, and you feel the energy of the audience and all the love that they give you back, it became my favorite thing to do, to perform in front of people and give them something, and a positive experience.
Of all the places you've performed, do you have a favorite?
There have been many. I of course, here in Puerto Rico, I've been lucky to to play at the biggest festivals here. And at the same time, there's a place we call El Boricua, which means Boricua means Puerto Rican, and it's a little corner place where a lot of students from the university go. And there's something about that place that they give you this very powerful energy. They really get into the performance, and it's one of my favorite places to perform here in Puerto Rico. Also in Spain, I was able to play at the Jamboree. It's a really neat club in Barcelona, and I lived in Spain for 2 years in Granada, and there are a lot of really nice venues. One of my favorite things is to be able to jam with musicians from all over the world. And you would go to a jam session in Spain, and you could be playing with people from Africa or France or Italy or Brazil. You would never know who was going to show up, and I thought that was a really great experience.
Yes. Well, let's talk about this benefit, because I know when I was contacted about this was a big thing. Obviously, you're going to be performing a benefit concert, so you mentioned to me off air when it was on, but of course we want to give people the heads up. Give us the details about this and what we're all to expect.
Yeah, this is exciting. We're going to be playing at one of the most important theaters here. It's a beautiful place. It's called the Teatro Tapia, the Tapia Theater in Old San Juan, which is the historic city here in the capital. And I'm going to be joined by 9 guest artists. They are all like the best known singers, local singers from the island. They all have their own groups and projects, but we came together to record an album called Puentes, which means bridges.
Okay.
And this concert is going to be called Puentes para Puerto Rico, which means bridges for Puerto Rico, because we lost a lot of those, literally, and also because the image of the bridge for me is about uniting people for a good cause, and this is what we're trying to do here. And people will be able to donate whatever amount they want, and we are getting the support of Lin-Manuel Miranda, who is somebody that we all admire, and he's doing a great job helping Puerto Rico, and he wanted to support this concert and his family. I've been in touch with his father and all his team, and also the San Juan mayor is helping us out, and there are many people that are coming together. What we're going to do is we're going to be donating the proceeds from the concert to two organizations that are doing really, really good work, hands-on work here. One of them is called the Puerto Rico Independent Musicians and Artists.
Okay.
They've been helping artists because during this time, a lot of us didn't have any work. There have been many venues that have closed because the damage to the place was really bad, and the financial hit was really bad. And of course, we didn't have any power for a long time, so a lot of us didn't have any work. And I know that they've been providing emergency grants to individual artists that really need them. And also, we're going to be donating the other half of the proceeds to the disaster relief and recovery program that has been put together by the Hispanic Federation. And they've also been doing an amazing work here. So these are the organizations that I think will really have an impact on the people, the kind of impact that we're looking for.
Yes. Is there, I don't know if how you would go about answering this question because it's kind of a tricky one, but is there any, I don't even know how you can answer this because you're dealing with, of course, a weather or disaster situation, but what steps could be taken to, I guess you can't prevent something like this, but you can certainly be ready for it. Is there any steps being taken, by the powers that be there in Puerto Rico to be ready for something like this in the future so that maybe the damage will not be quite as severe?
Yeah, I think on an individual level, we are all, I think most of us are prepared or are able to prepare ourselves. I mean, I got my all my supplies ready before the storm, and we're used to doing that.
Okay.
Nobody knew how strong this storm was going to hit, and nobody knew it was going to take so long for the recovery. And that's something that it's very hard to prepare for something that is such long term. Mm-hmm. But I think on an individual level, Puerto Ricans are used to doing what they need to do. I think what needs to happen now, and we are all hoping that this happens, is that on a governmental level, we have all the materials needed for the reconstruction, especially of the power system beforehand, so that we don't have to wait this long, for the work that needs to be done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're all hoping that this is a lesson that is going to be learned, and that it won't take another, because hurricane season is coming up in the summer. It'll be starting at the end of the summer, and still some people are still struggling. So we're hoping that this lesson is something that will bring some positive changes.
Yeah, I've never been to Puerto Rico, but I don't know if I could stay anywhere where, I guess you got hurricane season there. How do people maintain there after disasters?
Um, well, like I said, we were used to the hurricane season being a part of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
We had gotten, at least during my lifetime, we had two storms before that were pretty powerful, but not as strong as this one. This was the first five category five storm that we've ever experienced.
I
So
guess the Caribbean islands and places in the Caribbean, I guess they get it much more severe down there. Because I know I heard all this on the news, and it's devastating because it allows people, especially in my neck of the woods, to appreciate what we do have, And
yeah.
yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like most of us, like there was a comment on Facebook on a question: how long can you go without your phone? Because you just carry them around with you all the time, and it's like you guys pretty much can do that because you're kind of you prepared yourself and you said you guys get prepared beforehand, so you guys are kind of ahead of us in that way, and when it comes right down to it.
And to tell you the truth, I had no idea how long I could go without my phone, without power, I mean, this is something that I just found out that somehow you find the strength within you to deal with things. And of course you have to, because you have to keep going and try to. I also teach at a university, and we started teaching classes without power, and we would do that meeting with our students outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So we all had to do unprecedented things. I think at the end, in the end, you become a stronger person by going through something like this. Nobody wishes this on anyone, but somehow you find a way to make it through and keep going.
So when you taught at university, no power, does that mean no homework?
We we developed a way for the students to be able to deal with whatever requirements for the course they had to present at the end of the semester. We gave them extra time, and we were more lenient with them, and we allowed them to have more time for doing the work they had to do. Some of them, some of my students lost everything. I mean, their home, and they had to go to a refuge and all that, and they didn't lose the semester. We allowed them to complete the semester on the following semester. So we tried to figure out ways to help the students try to come back to a normal life as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely. So this concert's obviously going to be a huge thing with a number of people coming together. What do you think the crowd's going to be like? I know you're going to have a lot of people in your residence there, but you guys have people like from other countries that's going to be showing up for that?
Well, we are going to be spreading the word all over the island and outside. The Puerto Rican independent musicians and artists, they have a website where they've let people know about similar concerts that have happened in the United States, because we have a lot of Puerto Ricans and, of course, Americans and all types of people in the United States that have been wanting to help, including musicians. And I know they've done some benefit concerts for this organization in the U.S. I think this is going to be the first one here in Puerto Rico that is going to benefit this organization. And there's going to be a lot of attention from people that are following what they're doing, what we're doing. I'm sure that people from other places will want to come here, because this is the first time that the 10 of us are going to be together on stage performing very important songs from here, from Puerto Rico, like Puerto Rican classic songs that people really know. I think it's going to be a very emotional event also, because it'll be an experience that we all need for healing and for coming together. And I can't wait for that day to come, because I really, as a musician, this is the way I can contribute to help Puerto Rico recover and get back on its feet.
Absolutely. So you obviously are really skilled on the piano, and I know that's obviously a favorite instrument of yours. Do you have any other instruments that you enjoy playing?
Well, my secret passion, I don't know if it's secret or not anymore, but my secret passion is percussion. And when I play the piano, I always think from a percussionist point of view. I like to get very creative with my rhythmic ideas. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Mm-hmm.
I play a little guitar and other instruments, but definitely the main one is the piano. That's where I can express the things that I want to say.
So at this concert, are you guys going to do like something where every one of you come on stage at once, like at the end or something like that, and do something in unity?
Oh, yeah. The very last song on the album, and also at the concert, because what we're going to do is we're going to play the album from beginning to end.
Oh, okay.
The way that it's set up in the same order of the songs as they are in the album. And like I said before, this is the first time that we're going to perform this music live. The very last song is a song, the words of the song talk about the love for Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. And the main singer is going to be Tito Auger. He's a very beloved singer here in Puerto Rico. But there's a choir at the end of that song that is I'm gonna have some students from the university singing, and all the other artists will come on stage and join us for this song. And always at the end of every single song, I have like a jam session kind of thing where we improvise and we have this musical conversation, like spontaneous musical conversation. I think it's going to be a very special thing happening with all of us there together, improvising around this song. It's called Donde Yo Nací, which means where I was born, and that's how we're going to end the concert.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. This was, of course, brought up to me by, of course, Mike Gormley, who I've done several interviews through him. How did you come to connect with him?
Well, through a mutual friend. I did know about his work with through some artists that I admire, but it just so happens that we have a mutual friend in LA, and I've been in touch with this friend of mine, and I was telling him about the experience. That this was when I had no power, and I was feeling a little, you have your ups and downs, and of course there were many reasons to feel frustrated, and I was telling my friend about what was going on with me and my family and everything, and he decided on his own to talk to Mike about me, and Mike started listening to my music, and he called me and we started talking, and it's been great. We've developed a really, really special relationship. I think he's very passionate about music the same way I am, so there's a lot of things in common, and that's how we got together.
Yeah, I've been doing interviews for Mike since 2015. I come to connect with him through an actress named Lisa Langlois, who've become very good friends with me, and I was looking to do an interview with her, and Mike made that connection happen, and after Lisa's interview, we went, well, Mike was asking me if I ever interview musicians, and he sent a lot of them my way. I don't know who connected you with them, but if it's a musician, there's a good chance maybe they were on my show. I don't know, but
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
They
But
were probably. Do you know Michael Dolan?
no.
Okay.
So
Alright.
so was that who connected you?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I haven't interviewed him, but I've interviewed a number of people through Mike. So he just approached me right on the spot about this the other day, and he said he knew I had a lot of backlog of interviews to air out, but he said this one was a timely one, and I had at the time not heard of you, so I got myself up to speed, and he sent me the information on you, and I went on your website and I checked out your music. And one of the things that drew me to this was I love the idea of doing an interview where a cause can be helped. I think that's wonderful, and I think it's wonderful what you and these other musicians are doing for Puerto Rico and the people there that have lost so much that a lot of us outside there would take for granted.
Yeah, I think we all do at some point, and then something like this will force you to appreciate the simplest things,
Yeah. Well, I know we had a storm here. It must have been, I think, it was 2016, where we had power outage for, I think it was a couple of weeks. I think it was like a week or 10 days or something like at my place, and it was through rainstorm and windstorms, and it was the worst I've encountered here that I can remember. I mean, we've had severe snowstorms, but it was the longest we've gone without power, and some of us were able to get through work with generators and whatnot, But it was, that was trying for us. But you guys had it worse.
Oh my God! In the beginning, I did my cooking with candles.
Mm-hmm.
Making coffee would take more than half an hour, I think, before the coffee would come up, and I had to wash my clothes by hand. So most of your day would be occupied with the simple tasks that you do normally do. It would take you so much longer to do a simple thing like that, like making coffee. And you have to develop such a level of patience so you can deal with it. And then having to live like that for 4 months or 5 months or 6 months, like some people are doing right now, is really tough on you mentally and emotionally. I really want to wish this on anyone, and that's why I want to do something. This is the first time that I'm doing a benefit concert, and it's because I lived through it, and I know other people are still struggling, and I need, we all want to do something. We know that this is very important that we do this.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? We'll get this out there, and I hope that we can get the word out there so that people can. It'd be great if people, are able to get inside this situation and feel something as opposed to just hear it. I'm not. I certainly like to support charities, and I'm honored that Mike would ask me to conduct this so that we could get this out there and hopefully find some support. And I hope this concert brings in a lot of resources to help you folks recover from this disaster, because it's certainly no small thing.
It is, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to let people know that this is going on. And I want to thank Mike and everybody else that has been joining this effort, Lin-Manuel Miranda and his family, and everybody that's helping us, all the artists that are going to be participating. It's really a group effort, and when people get together, only good things can come out, and that's what we're all looking forward to. So people can go to my webpage or Facebook, and I'm going to be posting all the information on how they can contribute to this benefit concert, or how they can come over and even come to the show and be there with us.
Absolutely. Give us the information on your webpage so we can get that out there.
Yeah, you can go to Brenda Hopkins Music. I'm also on Facebook. I have a Facebook page under the same name, or Instagram, or all the typical social media pages. And like I said, I'm constantly posting information, so you'll be able to find out all the details of what's going on. And you can even listen to the music that we're going to be performing beforehand, so you know what is going to be happening there.
Absolutely. Well, we definitely want to get this out there, and we hope that people who hear this will support this cause. This is a wonderful benefit concert, and we got a lot of very talented musicians going to be at this, and we hope you the best of success. I know you've worked hard. Mike has definitely promoted you big time, definitely to me. So this is the first time I've ever done an interview that centered on a cause. So I like that, this is. We'll definitely get this out there. So the concert is when? Give us that again.
June 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be Saturday and Sunday, the first Saturday and Sunday in June, at the Teatro Tapia, the Tapia Theater in San Juan. And this is a first for all of us. I never thought I would live through a hurricane like this one, and I never thought I would be doing a benefit concert. And I think it's a first for Mike, so we're all just doing what needs to be done. And again, I really, really appreciate that you took the time and to allow us to spread the word.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure. And we wish you all the best. I was just wondering if, before we wrap this up, if you would mind doing a plug for my show.
Sure.
Canada. You ever been out this way before?
No. And I have to. I hear so many great things about Canada. I only went to what's the name? It's on the west
Vancouver
coast of Canada. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to Vancouver once to record at Bryan Adams Studio.
Oh, Bryan Adams. What a fantastic musician.
Yeah. A great person, too.
Oh, you met him?
No, I didn't, but my brother, he's also a musician, and he got in contact with him to record some music over there, and they invited me, and I know through my brother that he's a really excellent person, and you can tell when you hear the interviews and all that,
Absolutely.
He's a great person. Hi, I'm Brenda Hopkins Miranda. I'm a pianist from Puerto Rico, and I'm listening to Gilbert and his show Python's Paradise from New Brunswick, Canada.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best on this benefit concert, Brenda. And yes, we urge people to support that. Always support people in need, That is one of the chief things that's always been mentioned in the Bible, help those in need, So we urge people to support this and help get Puerto Rico back in good state again. And we're certainly going that direction with this wonderful concert. So we wish you all the best with that. Definitely. I hope that it's a tremendous success.
Thank you, Greg, and I hope maybe someday we'll be able to bring you some music to where you are, because music is all about sharing and creating connections. So I wish you the best.
Absolutely. The door is open anytime.
All right.
God bless you, and you have yourself a great day, and good luck with this concert.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.